Welcome to Pastor Andrew's Inspirations. If you enjoy these videos, please click on the red subscribe button below and the bell for more. Welcome to our online church, a congregation made up of many from around the world. No offering is necessary. Subscribing and watching videos will keep us alive under God's watchful eyes. Today we will be talking about biblical names starting with I, part 2. So if you haven't watched part 1, please find that and watch it first. Iddo continued. The second book of Kings records that 300 years later, during the reign of King Josiah, the king was engaged in the process of burning human bones to ritually defile Jeroboam's altar. During the trip to do so, Josiah noticed the tombstone of the man of God. And when he asked, was told that it was the tomb of the man who had predicted the destruction of Jeroboam's altar. Josiah ordered that the tomb be left unmolested in commemoration of his prophecy. In addition to claiming that Iddo was the prophet, is the unnamed man of 1 Kings chapter 13. Jerome also identifies Iddo the prophet with Oded the father of Azariah, who is found in 2 Chronicles chapter 15 verse 8. Another Iddo is mentioned in Ezra chapter 8 verse 17 as the chief man in a place named Casiphia. Ezra requests assistance from Iddo and his brethren to bring servants for the temple. It is the Iddo to whom Ezra refers when he calls the prophet Zechariah a son of Iddo in Ezra chapter 5 and 6. The Book of Zechariah chapter 1 verse 1 and 7 mention Iddo as the paternal grandfather of Zechariah. Igal. Igal meaning may God redeem, deliverer, or the will vindicate. Igal is the name of 3 biblical figures. Igal, son of Joseph of Issachar, a scout sent to Canaan prior to the crossing of the Jordan River. According to Numbers chapter 13 verse 7. Igal, son of Nathan of Zobah, is mentioned only in 2 Samuel chapter 23 verse 36. In a list of David's mighty warriors. And Igal, son of Shemaiah, is listed as a descendant of Zerubbabel in 1 Chronicles chapter 3 verse 22. This last figure is called Egil in the King James Version, although his name in Hebrew is the same as the other 2 Igals. Igdalia. Igdalia meaning may God be glorified, or great is Jehovah. Igdalia is mentioned in passing as the father of a man named Hanan in Jeremiah chapter 35, verse 3. According to the book of Jeremiah, the son or descendants of Hanan, son of Iddo, had their own chamber in the temple of Jerusalem, which was the site of the famous object lesson concerning Jeremiah and the Rechabites. The Encyclopedia Biblica claimed that the name Igdalia was most likely a mistaken form of the name Gedaliah. Ikesh. Ikesh meaning stubborn, to perverse or subtle. Ikesh, the Tekoid, was the father of Ira. That's Tekoite. And of King David's warriors in 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 26, and 1 Chronicles chapter 11, verse 28. Imla. Imla. Imla meaning whom God will fill up, or replenisher. Imla, the father of Micaiah, which later was the prophet who foretold the defeat of the allied kings of Judah and Israel against Ramoth Gilead in 2 Chronicles chapter 18. Also, in the parallel passage 1 Kings chapter 22, his name is written Imla with an H. Emmanuel. Emmanuel meaning God with us, or God is with us. This is a Hebrew name that appears in the book of Isaiah chapter 7 as a sign that God will protect the house of David. Matthew chapter 1 interprets this as a prophecy of the birth of the Messiah and the fulfillment of Scripture in the person of Jesus. Emmanuel, God with us, is one of the symbolic names used by Isaiah, alongside Shir-Jashub, Meir Shalal Hashbaz, or Pelajoaz El Gabor Abi Adsar Shalom. It has no particular meaning in Jewish messianism. In Christian theology, by contrast, based on its use in Isaiah chapter 7, the name has come to be read as a prophecy of the Christ, following Matthew chapter 1, where Emmanuel is translated as God with us, and also Luke chapter 7 after the raising of the dead man in Nain, where it was rumored throughout all Judea that God has visited his people. Immer, I-M-M-E-R. Immer meaning saying or speaking, a lamb, talkative or prominent. Immer was a member of the priestly family whose sons, Hanani and Zebediah, had both taken pagan wives, but repented during the communal confession instigated by the biblical priest Ezra. Imna, I-M-N-A. Imna meaning God does restrain or withdrawing. Imna is a biblical name which appears only in 1 Chronicles chapter 7 in a genealogy of the tribe of Asher. Imnah, I-M-N-A-H. Imnah meaning may God defend, prosperity, or he allots. Imnah was a Levite, or a Levite, the father of Kor, who was responsible for distributing the free will offerings of the temple in the time of King Hezekiah in 2 Corinthians chapter 31. Imrah, I-M-R-A-H. Imrah meaning a rebel, stubborn, or height of Jehovah. Imrah is a biblical name which appears only in 1 Chronicles chapter 7 in a genealogy of the tribe of Asher. Imri, I-M-R-I, meaning speaking, exulting, bitter, a lamb, projecting, or eloquent. Imri is the name of two individuals mentioned in the Hebrew Bible. And Imri is mentioned in passing in the ancestry of a man named Uthai, who according to 1 Chronicles chapter 9 lived in Jerusalem after the return from the Babylonian captivity. A man named Zakur, son of Imri, is recorded in taking responsibility for a section of the wall in the project of rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem, according to Nehemiah chapter 3. This was a biblical name starting with I, part 2. Please stay tuned for the biblical names starting with I, part 3. If you like these videos, please click on the red subscribe button below and the bell for more. Adonai Nisi, the Lord is our banner. God's blessings be upon us all.